So, good evening, everyone.
Thank you for joining us. So the big topic for today, actualization and creation. What does it mean? And really, what would it take to have total ease with actualizing the things in our life?
And also, actually, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, or ask your translators. Yeah?
E se vocês tiverem alguma pergunta, podem se colocar no mudo.
So, and if you are on the Spanish or the Portuguese line, then you can also ask questions from the translator and they will forward it to us.
Cool.
So, why is it a big question about actualization and creation? Because for so long we thought it's all about creation, but creation shows up in the moment when you have this thing, what you would like to create. By that very moment you created it already. But there are many levels of creation, and if you really would like to have it show up in your life, in this physical reality, then it's actualization, actually what's required. And we talk a lot about that for actualization, many times it's an action that's required. But how will you know what is the action that's required? This is one question. And if you know why you don't do it, this is a different question. So let's
tricky. It's tricky.
So first, let's talk about how will you know what's required. And the part of it, what you heard about, is like following the energy of your choice. What does it actually mean, and why it is so important, or how does it show up actually following the energy of your choice? So when you choose something, it brings up an energy. You just say out loudly, I choose to generate $1 million by the end of September. How does it feel? And we are not talking about feelings, but what is the sensation that shows up, and what are the energies that are showing up as a result for your question, for your choice? It's really a choice. I'm choosing to generate this much money by the end of a certain period. So what is the energy that comes to the surface? And actually the question is that why does it come up at all, and what do we do with this? Because anytime when you choose something, you start to communicate with the universe and you start to pull all these possibilities into your direction. Your choice is sort of like the universe is the playground, and when you choose something, you are just pointing to the things that you would like to have in your life, and they start to come closer, and anything that's required for them to be part of your physical reality, that also starts to show up and starts to be visible and accessible for you. The thing is that the good part, that there are a million ways how things can show up. And there is a thing called the acoustical vibration, which is a space of infinite possibilities. So when you have access to it, you will have always total ease with creating your life. Because through the acoustical vibration, or through the space of infinite possibilities, you always have access to the choices and the possibilities. You have access to all the components, all the resources that are required for the creation. You have access to the information, because actually it is giving you the information. So when you follow the energy, actually you are reading the information from the acoustical vibration of your choice. So there is an acoustical vibration of generating $1 million income by the end of September, let's say. And it's your job to be present with that acoustical vibration, to read the information that will allow you to know what's required for this. And as things are changing, the acoustical vibration will give you always the information what's required now. So the question is, what is it that we can do now? So are you willing to know more about the acoustical vibration, And the great thing is, there is a class, so the class is created and we are traveling around the world and giving this information to the people and giving all the tools about how you work with the acoustical vibration and what is really possible. And this is just one area, which is like choice and actualization. And there are many areas. So it's not just about business. It's not just about really creating these things in your life, but also it's about healing and recovering. Like when you follow the acoustical vibration of your choice, let's say you would like to heal your body or change your body, it also has an acoustical vibration of those choices and possibilities. And as following it, it will give you the information, what's required, what can you do for your body. Or when you are a facilitator or like a practitioner and you have a client, it will also give you the information of what's required to be done with your client. What can you do with no points of view? Like instead of following, let's say, a recipe, it's not about following a recipe, but really following the space of infinite possibilities where the information is for what's required now. What is the next step to create the change that you are choosing, that you desire? Okay. Regarding actualization. So when it comes to do these things, of course, you can have so many limitations in your mind. Let's say, oh, I don't want to tell this client to turn on the left side or the right side. I may not say that, or I'm not allowed to touch them on their bums or on their shoulder, whatever is your religious belief or their beliefs, or maybe, I don't know, wherever you are in the world. So there can be always different scenarios why you wouldn't do something that you know should be done. So when you start to follow the energy, or in other words, you are reading the acoustical vibration of that choice, then you become aware of what's required, but you have your points of view, your judgments, your hidden patterns and dynamics that are holding you back from actualizing it, that are holding you back from doing those physical steps, those actions that are really required for the thing to show up. Like you may imagine that okay, I'm choosing something and I will sit in the bottom of this cave and meditate until the thing shows up. Like if you are calling a taxi, the taxi will not drive into the bottom of the cave. You may need to walk out to the entry of that cave, maybe further out from the jungle, out from the forest, to a place where the taxi can actually go.
Or order a helicopter.
Or maybe an elephant will come and you can jump on that elephant, but an elephant rarely can go and enter a cave. So actualization means you may need to do really physical actions, not just pulling the energy, not just creating in the energetic realm, but there are all kinds of realms, and you are an infinite being, and you have the capacity, guess what? You have the capacity to act in all different realms and realities. And this is your job. Part of actualization, if you really want to actualize something, to acknowledge that as an infinite being, I have the capacity to act in all different realms and realities. So don't think it's enough to just ask for something to show up and it will. Yes, it will, but that elephant will wait for you at the enter of the cave. So you need to go out and catch that elephant maybe. So this is the thing. Are you willing to recognize that for this whole thing, you are the one who knows, and you are the one to do those physical actions that are required. So everywhere where you would override your knowing about what's required, believing that as an infinite being, you can do it without stepping up, without keep sitting in the bottom of the cave, you really need to move your bum and do things as well. Maybe, of course, that's also an awareness that you become aware that someone else could do this for you, but maybe those people are not capable to reading your mind, so you need to call them. So just be aware that everything around you is a tool. And from the moment you become aware of, oh, this is what I need to do, It's up to you to do it. You can choose to do it, or you can choose to not do it. But if you don't do it, it's not a miracle if something doesn't show up. It just simply, you are just not following the energy and you don't do what's required. So actualization is one part of it, for you to recognize that there are different levels of this reality, and you may need to act and do actions in those different levels, not just in one level, not just in one layer of this reality. Cool. So we get to a point where we hope there are some questions. If you have any question, please let us know. If you are stuck somewhere in your reality,
you can ask, where is the elephant, right?
Yep. So,
Rex.
Cool. Hi, Rex. Nice to meet you again.
Okay, so the question is about asking what physical steps I can take to actualize something. I just ask, what can I physically do to actualize this? And let the universe answer. Or I should keep asking specific questions. For example, I can talk to somebody, or I know this person, what can I say to him, to her? Being specific in his questions is something restricting the possibilities. Cool question, actually.
So there are two things here. So during the acoustical body class, we talk a lot about what does it mean really following the energy, and we do lots of exercises that allows you and your body to start to receive the acoustical vibration and all the different ways that information can show up. So there are lots of clearings that doesn't allow us to read information or to receive information, or just to receive all the different ways how things can show up. So we do lots of clearings in this area as well. The other part of that is that, yes, I'm asking a question. There are many ways to ask a question, and there are many ways we can use it. So one thing is that really asking a question, or first it starts with a choice? So first you have the choice what you desire. So you ask it to show up. And then you stay present with what shows up in your life. So you keep choosing to stay present with that. And then when you have, let's say you have an awareness of what's required there, you may double check it, like, truth, is this what's required? Or should I talk to someone? Or because you have an awareness, you have to talk to someone, but you may not clear on that. Who is that person, or where can you find that person? And then again, you can ask questions further that will help you to find that person, to figure it out. What we realize that when you start to ask questions, it really starts to help you to read the information and read all the different ways how information can show up. It like helps you to communicate with the molecules, communicate with everything. And if you don't start it, then it's like a muscle. You need to keep doing it, because it will give you that depth of information, and really helps you to translate the information to the way that you can read it and receive it. So yes, sometimes you need to be specific, and sometimes you shouldn't be that specific. I hope it helped a lot. It's something that you will know, like when you need to have more clarity about something, then you can do, like, you can be more specific. But for example, with a choice, it's different. So I think a lot of times we mix up choices with questions. So it's worth being aware of, am I choosing here something, or am I need to ask a question? Like, and you can also ask a question before you choose something, like, will it be a contribution to buy this red Ferrari? And then you say, well, it's a contribution if my mom pays for that. If not, so what else is possible? when you ask what else is possible, is that specific? It's not specific at all, but it allows you to access all the possibilities. That's a really cool question that actually helps you to connect to the acoustical vibration, the space of infinite possibilities. Cool. So where to go from here?
So, hi, Rocco and Zilla.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm not sure if this is in the genre of what kind of question you want, but what do you do when you know what you should do? So you get the messages of knowing what you should do to make something happen that you want, in this case, improve my health, but you somehow can't choose it. You somehow can't make your body choose it.
Cool. You mean you are not choosing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like your mind, you're part of you that wants to choose it, but you're just not. And I don't understand that. What's holding me back? Well, I'd like more clarity on that.
Yes. So imagine that you are not alone with this. Like, yeah, like, and actually we were suffering from that. Like, we wanted to have a different lifestyle. We wanted to change our life and change our bodies and change so many things in our life.
But we didn't do anything.
We were just lazy. I mean, I could say it's lazy. It's not laziness, because you want it and you don't. And lazy is a very simplified answer to this, why we don't do it.
Yeah, I'm lazy, but
But actually there are so much behind it. There are so many hidden dynamics that we buy into, and belief systems and fears and all these combinations that doesn't allow you to choose it. So even if you become aware of what's required, you just don't do it.
Yeah.
And we were suffering from the same disease. It's like a virus eating your capacities. And what we were doing, we started to collect all these dynamics and all the hidden patterns and all the things that are really holding us back from doing these things. And we created an online class from that, and we were running it for ourselves for the first time, because actually we really wanted to change our life. So it's like running certain clearings and becoming aware of these hidden patterns that we keep choosing or keep maintaining and running in our lives, that's really holding us back from living and creating the life we desire. Not just something average, not just something that is limited, but what you truly desire, and really seeing that happening and showing up in your life. So yeah, and that's the other thing. So we created a class for that as well, which called Being 100% Committed.
Yes.
And we will have that class available online.
This Saturday.
Yeah, like, yeah, 14th. This week, like, 14th of September. And it will be translated to many languages simultaneously. So, and of course, primarily it will be in English. So it's, and we give like a written material. So what we do over there is about, what does it mean asking, how do you ask a question? What does it mean asking a question? And figuring out all the different dynamics and scenarios that we are functioning from, that is really holding us back. And of course, how you clear all these things.
And how to become aware of, because you are doing, and for example, what is self-sabotage? Because we use this, self-sabotage, but what is this exactly? And, if you have information or a great understanding, what is that? It's easy to recognize when you do it, and easy to clear.
So one thing is like self-sabotage. A lot of people report that they are so excited at the beginning of the creation, and then this excitement, it just starts to disappear from their life, and they just don't care anymore about it. And we also talk about, what is that actually? What is behind this that you can actually change and clear? Also, what is procrastination? Like, we go into, why do you do procrastination?
What's the reason for that? What is behind it, you know?
And also, why is that you ask a question at the beginning, it's wow, it's a huge contribution, and a week later you ask again and it's just the opposite, and you just don't, oh, why am I stupid now?
Yeah.
What happened?
What's wrong with me, you know?
Yeah. So we go into all these different patterns, all these different topics that is really limiting us. Yeah, and people will have the information for that, so it's really they can really start to create their life.
Yeah, Flavio
Cool.
put the link in the chat. If you would like to check it, you can register, or you can see what is this.
Yeah, I can't find the chat. How do you find the chat?
The chat box. On the
bottom there is some icons, you know.
Do you do it from your mobile phone or from your laptop?
Tablet.
I can send it to you after the call. It's not.
Cool. Thank you.
We can send it out also with the recording to everyone.
Yep. Great.
Thank you. Really cool question.
Thank you.
So,
what else is possible now?
Is there anyone with any questions or would like to say something? Cool. If you are really interested about what does it mean, like there are many questions, many examples about what does it mean being like committed to yourself? What does it mean creating and actualizing? So when we started to use these tools in our life, like we had really, we had full-time jobs for ourselves. We had, and we had a business, and that business was really making loss, like 25,000 a year on year for 3 years in a row. And when we started to use these tools and we started to clear all the shit out, what started to show up that within 2 months, the whole business turned the other way out. So, and we tried everything. I really have to say, we tried everything before. But the big thing is, do you try everything or you do what's required to be done? It's a big difference. And these tools really gave us the information about what is required to be done. It allowed us to start to follow the energy and realize what does it mean being an infinite being and creating your life from that space. So within these 2 months, the funny thing was, like, I lost my full-time job, but this business turned into that direction that it was generating that much profit, that how much was my full-time job income within 2 months, you know, from a loss maker to, like, let's say it's a perfect, amazing, profitable business. And of course, since then it's growing, and yeah, it's like really amazing. It really allows us to travel around the world and have fun everywhere we go. And it just we meet amazing people. So really, what else is really possible here? And also a lot of people who start to use these tools, their life is starting to change. They report how they changed their life, their body,
how to generate more
symptoms.
money. Actually, that's more common. How to generate more money. That's really cool.
So we also talk a lot about what is choice, what is creation, and what is actualization. Cool. All right.
There is a question.
Yes.
What?
We have a question from Portuguese also.
Yes.
Whenever you get it. So, good evening. I would like to know more about self-sabotage and procrastination. I identify it, but I can't get out of it. What question can I ask to get out of it?
Yeah, so these are the main topics of the 100% committed class. One of the main topics to recognize it and to get out of all of these. because the thing is, we were also doing it unknowingly. Like, you know, self-sabotage, one way of it, that you ask for something and always just in the doorstep of that thing to show up, you do something very silly, something that is totally the opposite. Like, it's not generating, it's not providing anything, it's totally the against of your creation. That is self-sabotage. And procrastination is also when you know what's required to be done and you just wait for the last moment with all kinds of excuses, and then it's too late. And then you realize, oh fuck, it's too late, and you do nothing. But I mean, you do nothing until then, and then you do nothing until then, because after that, because it's already too late. So there is always an excuse for that. And yeah, and we go through with the clearings and with all these topics, like what is really behind this in the 100% committed class. So if you have any questions in this topic, I would really invite you to this class, because it will be really a life changer. Yeah, and that's what Katya says. It's really the key to get access to all answers and information that's required for my choice. Surely the light and heavy tool, isn't it? Yeah, that's the other thing that we learned during the 100% committed class, the light and the heavy tool. That you all learned during the bars, I hope so, because it's part of the bars class.
But it's still...
I think during the bars class, you don't have the time to really go deep into it. Like, we really had to use it in our life. Like, we were using it like 2 hours a day, like practicing it to figure it out, how it really works. What are the key problems? What are the key questions about it? Why it's working or why it's not working, or what you should do, and what is the information that is missing for the people, or what are the practices that are missing for the people that doesn't allow them to have success with this light and heavy tool. Because it's like really, it's the tool for your life. It's very a basic tool in Access, and if you don't get this tool, then so many things will not work well for you in the world of Access.
It's very basic, really, and very powerful. If you know how to use this tool, you know everything, really.
Like, imagine that, like, when we were looking for a Chinese translator and we didn't know anyone and anything, we were using this tool, and it was like pointing us to the direction where we should go, who should we call, and really it was helping us to figure it out, where we can find the information, where we can find the contacts, where we can find everything. Like, this is simply just a light and heavy tool when you know how to use it. And it's a tool.
It's amazing how it works.
It's really powerful.
Cool.
All right. So, do we have any more questions? Fabi?
Yes, I have one.
Yeah.
Yes?
There's a question here that say, what people have ease and quick changes? And in my case, I use the tools, but I don't have changes so much, and I don't know what else I require.
Yes. So that's what we are talking about when we say that the tools of Access consciousness are really amazing and really powerful. And when we started to use them, then we started to really get all the tiny elements of it, that all these basic tools and even the more complicated or complex tools, that there is a lot of things that is missing for the people, that it's like the holy grail that is missing from Access, from really receiving these tools and receiving the information and acknowledging that you are an infinite being. And these are the tools, and this is the information that we would like to hand over to the people in these classes, like what we just said about the 100% committed, when we talk about the light and heavy tool, or what does it mean being committed? Because a lot of people goes into the wrong direction. What does it mean being committed? Or who are you committed, or what are you committed to? And also a lot of times we just use these words, but there is nothing behind it. It's total confusion. Like, yeah, I'm committed. And then what does it mean? Nothing. It just means you want to do it, but
are you really doing it actually, or are you doing only one day and that's it? Or how much are you committed? Just for a day or your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So the other thing is what we wanted to announce, that there will be the Your Acoustical Body class in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
In October, beginning of October.
4 to 6.
4, yeah, from 4th
to the 6th of October. And so it's all about the acoustical vibration, using them, creating with them, also engaging the elementals. And the class has 3 amazing energetic body processes.
Special body processes, and one of them is with the elementals.
Yeah, one of the body processes is working with the elementals. This is a new one since last year.
Yes.
So there is a lot of more information, and if you would like to figure out more about this class, please contact the hosts, the organizers, or the translators. So that's Fabio Meira is the main contact point. Or if you rather speak Spanish, then please contact Fernanda
or Luciana.
And there is another question. Okay. So the question is that, hello, my issue is that every time someone judge me about my perfect life or think that I'm full of money from their point of view, I start to create the opposite immediately without realizing it, like creating problems and debts. What should I ask to avoid creating a miserable reality so they won't be able to judge me? So the first thing is that there is no such thing that people won't be able to judge you.
Someone always will judge you. You can't make everyone happy.
Because everyone has their own standards, and you just can't match everyone's standards.
And the judgments, it's never about you. It's always about them.
That they are not happy with their life. They are not happy with comparing themselves to you. They look at you, and you make them remember some shit that they have in their life, and then they start to point at you. And of course,
lots of times you just remember them for their failures, because they could do the same like you or even more, they just don't do it. And that's why they blame on you, or they just judge you, because it's much more easier.
Yeah.
So the question is, what do you choose? Do you want to fit in their reality and in their points of view, or you just create yours? And who cares what they say, or who cares about their judgment?
Because when you make other people's judgments more important than your knowing, than your capacities, then they are the source of your life. They are the source of your creation. And when someone else is the source of your creation, you start to create shit.
Like you do, you do the opposite. So in this case, instead of generating money, you just
you cut back your capacity of generating.
So the question is, what do you choose, and what is the source of your life?
Or who? Is that you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Cool. So
time for one more.
Yes.
Someone posted here. Is it really possible that someone desires so much to stop someone else? And can that happen?
Sorry, someone desires so much that does what?
Is it really possible that someone desired to stop someone else so much, and is it actually possible to happen?
Yeah, I mean,
I
can't really hear it clearly. That's.
Oh, let's try something else.
Can I repeat? Oh,
Yes. Is
that's
it
clear.
really possible that someone really desires to stop someone else?
Ah,
Yeah,
And
I mean, they can
is it
desire to stop
possible that
someone
it
else.
happens?
One of the things that people don't recognize is the free will. You can try to stop anyone. You can have this desire to stop someone, but what do they choose?
yeah, you can't change anyone actually, because you just can't. And if you have a relationship, it doesn't matter what kind of, it can be a friendship or a partnership or a business or whatever, but if you want to change the other person, it won't happen.
And for example, if you look around in the world and you say, okay, I see that this person is creating a big mess in the world, so I have to stop this person. But the thing is, even if you stop that person, someone else will keep doing that shit. So is that really stopping the person or these people, or it's changing the reality?
Yeah, so what creates more? What is the contribution I can be here, for example? Instead of stopping someone, because actually this is a judgment again, because you just say the other does something bad. But if you create a change from a different situation, from a different angle, because something is greater, something greater is possible here, that's totally different.
So just to make it clear, when you think that that person needs to be stopped because they do something really nasty, and that's the source of the problem. But the source of the problem is not always that. So just being the question, what's required to be changed here that creates greater? Or what can we do here to create something greater? Cool.
Okay.
Right.
We have to go.
We have a flight very soon going to Europe. And
yeah,
which is so exciting because that's the next 3-4 months.
Yeah,
Trips around the world just starts now
and
today.
Yeah, cool. All right, so if you have any questions, please contact Fabio or Vivi or Fernanda or the other contributors or hosts for Sao Paulo for the acoustical body class. And yeah, we will send out the recording with all the details, and hope see you soon.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.